It's full, total lunar eclipse day. You know where your cat is. Scorpio is in there. Let's don't forget. Hi, Thomas Miller on the Fun Astrology Podcast. Thanks so much for joining us. It is a big day today. Election day in the United States. It's eclipse day around the world. It has been amazing spiritual energy. I'm going to do a subconscious mind mastery podcast on this, but I told the story last night on Level Up. If you didn't catch that live and you'd like to hear that, it's just an incredible moment in my own timeline, which really is the stuff of the Subconscious Mind Mastery podcast. But you can go to the Fun Astrology YouTube channel, or you can join our Facebook group. It's Fun Astrology, and let's see, let me get this right. Subconscious Mind Mastery and Fun Astrology Podcast Listeners group on Facebook. Long name. But either place has the replay, and if you'd like to hear this story, and then we did this feminine meditation, amplifying the feminine side, but under this energy that we've been talking about since Thursday, just an amazing personal experience. I heard yesterday from a friend who is going away for a couple of days to retreat in the mountains to just reset and replan. That's a great thing to do right now. If you can, sneak it into your day somehow, somewhere. Let's go back over these technicals again. The eclipse happens at around 6 a.m., and I say that not to not nail a time down, but, for example, my Honeycomb Collective says 6:02, Time Nomad says 6:03, and my settings here to Asheville, North Carolina say 6:02 and 9 seconds. The aspect is at 16 degrees, the sun in Scorpio, the moon in Taurus. Depending on your location, that could be 16 degrees 0 minutes, 16 degrees 1 minute, could be a little bit off there, but we're very close. So, a couple of things you can do. First of all, find Scorpio in your chart and Taurus. Those two areas of your chart are activated. Then find 16 degrees in your natal chart. Do you have any planets at 16 degrees? If so, how do they aspect back to Taurus and Scorpio? The other thing I would advise is look at the planets involved in this. So if you really wanted to do a deep understudy of this, you would find the sun and the moon, Mercury, Venus, those are aligned with the sun, Uranus, which is aligned with the moon, Saturn, which is at a square to all of this, and the south and north nodes of the moon. I mean, is there anything left? Yeah, we didn't mention Jupiter. I mean, it's like, this is deep. One guy on our Facebook group made a comment, said, felt something shifted major over the weekend. Absolutely, as the energies just aforementioned. You know, with the exception of Pluto, seriously, think about this. With the exception of Pluto, we just mentioned the karmic transformational alignments that can occur in the chart to affect the energy for radical transformation. And again, let's just separate collective energy from individual energy. I'm talking about you and me here. I'm talking about we can get a journal out, we can pray, we can light a candle, we can meditate, we can read scriptures, we can sing or chant. There are all kinds of things we can do to get into the zone to maximize this energy. What the chart shows us is what the weather forecast is energetically. Now, it's up to you to implement your practice to take advantage of the weather. So number one, don't be surprised if you're surprised. Uranus is at the table, right there at 16 degrees. It's on the same degree. Two other aspects today that happen. One this morning at 11:42. Let's bring Mercury into this conversation because it conjoins the sun, 16 degrees. And then tonight at 9:40 p.m., it aligns in direct opposition to Uranus at 16 degrees 55 minutes. So it hits the sun this morning, Uranus this afternoon. That could be a day of surprise for sure. And remember, I always like to just caveat, whenever you talk about Mercury, you always want to think about communication, etc. Often the most important communication is with yourself, especially under this eclipse. Don't look outward, look inward. Think you first. What are you saying to yourself? Now, for a couple of minutes here, I'd like to just focus on the Taurian side, the lunar side of this eclipse. A lot of focus has been on Scorpio. Let's now shift to the other side of the chart and think about Taurus. The moon is there. That's our feminine side. That's our emotions. That's our connection to our intuition. That was the topic that I discussed, and I'm not going to touch on it here. There will be other podcasts, but I discovered that my whole feminine side of my being had been imprisoned all of my life. Do you not think that was a surprise? Uranus at 16 degrees? And that discovery, as I showed with my natal chart, I showed it last night on the video. That discovery basically, in a big way, helped me not necessarily complete, but certainly understand the depth of my natal chart. That's the stuff of the North Node. But there's one other body that is sitting there in that Taurian realm as this eclipse hits, and that is the part of fortune. So remember, Venus is over in Scorpio. Venus rules Taurus. The part of fortune says, if you do this work, and I would say, as best you can, if you open your feminine side, I mean, look at it. Taurus is a feminine sign. The eclipse is in Taurus. If you dare look at the depths, Scorpio, Venus, all things Taurus, all things feminine, then that part of fortune over there in Taurus is saying there's a reward for your efforts. Yes, it may be deep. Yes, it could get ugly. Yes, there might be a jack-in-the-box surprise waiting for you in the closet when you open it. But go ahead and open it, because the reward for you is there. And as my old broadcast mentor, role model, Paul Harvey would have said, that is the rest of the eclipse story. Hope that helps. Now, tomorrow, don't look at any news headlines tonight, okay? Just don't worry about the news. No news tonight or tomorrow. We'll see. I might be a little late with tomorrow because what I'll probably do is get up early and see what we have before we do the podcast, and we'll see how that applies to things, all right? Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you back tomorrow.